So how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I am just in the process of, looking for work and trying to stay positive about that. Continue my streaming, interact with you guys and have a pretty great community. We do. We have a lot of amazing people, and I've been very fortunate to meet a lot of you guys along the way that have come into Grandma's house and have just made it that much better. Let me know whenever you're ready. I am ready to answer anything you got for me. So if you want to ask the question and give me, and then that way I can go ahead and answer for you.
What inspired you to stream? Like, sure up. Like, which person or who inspired you to stream?
Well, so originally I started a YouTube channel, and which was Stuffy Grills, and now it's Gaminggrama. Originally I wasn't streaming video games. I never thought about streaming video games. Like, my ex-husband's kids and my kids would watch Twitch, and I was like, what's Twitch? What's that? I was the typical mom. Played video games all the time. Now, if you walked in my house when Witcher 3 was out, I was all about that and the DLCs. I mean, I've played video games my whole life.
Yeah.
But initially I started YouTube, and I started YouTube because of my fibromyalgia, and I wanted people to understand that. And I started Netflix movie reviews, like specific to Netflix, before they came out with a lot of the titles that they're, before they started the whole Netflix brand and making more movies along those lines, with their name. I was reviewing those types of films, and then I don't remember which kid, it may have been Catherine, had said, had mentioned, why don't you just stream your video games? You're great on camera. Why don't you just do that? And I was like, well, how would I do that? Yeah. And then that's when they're like, well, Twitch. And I was like, okay, I could try that. At the time with my ex-husband, my computer wasn't the best. I didn't understand like the capture card and the video card and how all that worked. And then I decided to start streaming straight from the PlayStation, and the first game I streamed was Ratchet and Clank. And then I met a guy who doesn't stream anymore. His name is John in 60 Seconds. He gave me a lot more information about streaming, and so the last Christmas before my divorce, my ex-husband gave me he got me a stream deck, he got me a new video camera, and that was about it. And so and I talked about, this is what I wanted to do, it's what I want to do, and he kind of was like, well, why don't you just do it? I actually didn't start streaming until last year after I met Alan Gramps, and that's what happened, and that's really all she wrote. So I mean, as far as like inspiration, my daughter kind of pushed me to do it, but I started straight from YouTube. All right, so how did I make my Twitch or YouTube channel name? Well, initially it was Stuffy Grills, so E-T-F-E-T. I can't spell mine. Look, I can't spell either. So it was part of my first name and my last name, because it was going to be like Stuffy Grills Netflix, Stuffy Grills blah blah blah, right? Yeah. But I was actually sitting, I don't know if it was here, but I was just like, you know what, I'm a grandma and I'm a gamer. What about Gaminggrama? And then the name was available, and I was like, okay, that rocks. People are going to want to see the Gaminggrama. And that's just, I mean, I have grandkids, and I've been a gamer my whole life. So that is the name. That is where the name came from. Wolfess asked me a question. Can I answer that? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay. She asked me, how did I find out I had fibro and how has it affected my everyday life? So I had a hysterectomy at the age of 27. And so what happened was after my hysterectomy, I started having like weird pain that I was feeling. And I went to the doctor, and they were like, oh, it's just residual pain. And they gave me like Lortab or something, and it worked, but it just kept getting different pains everywhere in different areas, and it took about 10 years to be diagnosed fully and properly with the fibromyalgia, and so I pushed the doctors to figure out what was wrong with me. And initially when I was diagnosed, they were like, it was the classification that you gave women that were in pain that, they couldn't figure anything else out about. So, it had to be fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome. And luckily I found I had found a really great general practice doctor that sent me to a rheumatologist and diagnosed me properly. As far as how it's affected my life, in the beginning, before Pregbalin, before Lyrica, before Neurontin, I had more breakthrough pain and a lot more. It was very difficult for me. Many nights with heating pads and ice packs, trying to figure out what was going on. But since the new medications that they've rolled out, since I have a really great doctor, it still impedes my life. I still have to remember that when I wake up in the morning, if I feel fabulous, I can't just go out and conquer the world. Otherwise, I'm going to suffer for 2 weeks. So instead, I just take it day by day. I remember to count how many spoons I have, and make sure that I take it easy. If I'm cleaning the house, I got to take a break so that I don't kill myself. But as far as like home relief medications, Ruckus, no, because it's a brain thing. So fibromyalgia affects your brain, and it tells your brain that you're in pain in different areas, and sometimes it's brought on by trauma, whether it could be stress, it could be physical trauma, it could be something, it could be PTSD, and so your brain, it fires off differently and reacts differently to pain than a normal person's brain would. It was for Lucid Wolfess. Well, there you go. Anyway, I thought that was for me. Sorry. Ruckus, you asked any plans or goals this year for my stream community. Well, plans wise, I really want to focus on growing Grandma's house and bringing in a lot more people. I also kind of want to bond together as small streamers and kind of make like an unofficial stream team where we hop and raid each other. And that's something that I've been thinking about. I've talked to my mods about, I've talked to other people about, and I think that for the people that come in where we have bonded as smaller streamers, as a smaller community, because we don't have partnership yet, until I make partner, I'd really like for us to focus on helping each other grow, because I know that's something that would have benefited me early on. So that's kind of really what I want to do. Now, of course, do I want to make partner by the end of the year? Sure, that'd be great. But, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. In the meantime, I want to hang out with y'all. Say I make partner tomorrow, what's next for me? That's a great question, Ruckus. So if I made partner tomorrow, obviously I would still keep a full-time job. Because, I need it. But as far as what's next, just to really focus on invisible illnesses, I would really like to be able to have charity events and be able to donate a portion of my proceeds. Let's say, okay, I want to create merch, and each month what I'd like to do is take a percentage of the profits from the merchandising and donate it to, fibromyalgia.org or lupus or MG, which is my myasthenia gravis, one of my author friends has it, or MS, for depression, for research into those invisible illnesses, ADHD, those kinds of things. I'd really like to focus on giving back to the community. And the way that I can give back is by focusing on what affects me, but also affects other people. So go ahead.
What's the difference between you now and you like the first time you started?
Oh, wow. When I first started streaming, I think every time or right before I hit that start streaming button, I would feel so nervous. I was nervous because there wasn't anyone there, except for like my daughter would come in or Jinxie would come in. I was very nervous about failing, and I was just worried that I wasn't going to appeal to anyone. Now, the difference is, I still have nights where I'm super tired and I don't want to stream. However, I miss you guys when I don't. And as soon as I hit that start streaming button and my music is going and I see the chat room and everyone is interacting with everyone, it gives me such a warm feeling inside. It makes me so happy that not only, are you guys there for me, but you're there for each other. And I think that I've become a lot more confident in my abilities as a streamer and entertainer. At least I hope so.
Yeah, I get you. How did it shape you overall?
Overall, I feel like the journey to where I am now has made me a better streamer. Not so much a streamer, but someone, because when I'm talking to you guys, I feel as if it's made me the person I am today. No, I feel like it's shaped me into someone that if someone came into my stream and they saw me, they would realize that, wait, how old is she? She's a grandma. She's doing this. Well, if she can do it, then I might be. Then I can do it. I feel like it's shaped me into like the kind of person that hopefully can inspire confidence into other people that are afraid of doing what they love or want to do.
Yeah, I get you. What type of people you meet?
Well, I mean, I got to meet you. I'm glad that Grandma's House is attracting people from all walks of life, from all over the world. But, you know, I've been very fortunate in the people that I have met through streaming that have come into our community. They've been so kind and giving and understanding and supportive of one another. And I'm glad that we all have something that connects us. We all have something that connects us together. And I feel that Grandma's House is, like I said, everyone is welcome. It's Grandma's house. What you're going to do, you're going to go and you're going to kick back. You know, when you get to Grandma's, you're going to be yourself. And I love that the people that come in, they can be themselves. And that helps us get to know them.
Yeah, that's true. You know, but either way, there's always going to be those haters, no matter what.
Yeah, there will be, but that's okay. I have you guys to support me and beat them back, right?
Yeah.
We're going to put them in timeout. That's what's going to happen. We're going to put them in timeout.
Yeah.
And they're not coming out of that corner. They're going to get kicked right on out of Grandma's house. Then go pick a switch.
Your future, or your Twitch or YouTube career?
So the future of my, I hope to continue streaming on Twitch. I'm hoping I can make partner.
Yeah.
And then when I make partner, I'm with that and hopefully growing Grandma's house, growing our community, getting the exposure. Maybe we might get the sponsorship needed for more recognition for, you know, fibromyalgia or any other invisible illnesses. Well, fibro because I have it, and so do other people in our community. But it would be amazing to have sponsors that donate to those causes, but also recognize these invisible illnesses. And I feel like our community can only grow. Only grow like.
Yeah, I get you.
Whereas I actually want to meet. How about that?
Yeah.
I would really like to meet Jesus Here's Toast. I really want to meet him and his wife Hera, or not wife, but girlfriend Hera. I'd really like to travel to Australia and meet Cody Hargreaves, who's excessive profanity. First of all, those two are some of my favorite. They're my favorite streamers. Well, two of my favorite streamers because they basically don't have any BS. They don't beat around the bush. They don't spit a lot of BS. You know, they tell you how things are, game wise and reality. Maybe I'd like to hang out with Carnage since he follows me and maybe, hang out with him and his family, once, COVID's gone. And see the babies. And I would really like to meet the other streamers that are in my community. It would be really, really cool to have a huge barbecue like Game Zub has said, or have a holiday or something like that, a weekend where it's like, okay, we're gonna have a Grandma's House reunion and meet all of you guys. That would be absolutely a blast.
Yeah.
Well, Jackhammer asks, what's Carnage like? Well, is amazing. He's so super nice and he answers all the questions that I have and he has a real conversation with you. Let's see. Wolfast, what advice would you give to someone who can't get doctors to listen to them when they say they have pain? Be your own advocate. Let me tell you what my dad told me. You have to be your own advocate. If I was not my own advocate and didn't tell the doctor that they needed to pay attention to what I was saying, they never would have found the brain tumor that lives in my head. Because I have a brain tumor. It's non-cancerous, but I have one and it's there. It hasn't grown. It's still tiny. So the only thing I would tell you is if you have a doctor that continues to not listen to you, find a new doctor. Find someone that will listen to you. Because you know your body. You know your body. You know what's wrong with it. And you have to find someone that's willing to listen to you, listen to your own body. But my dad told me to do that from the time I was very young. And that's the information. That's what I've passed on to my own kids. kids. And if that's anything I can pass on to anyone else, that is what I would pass on to you. Be your own advocate.
What advice do you have for like streamers that just starting or other streamers that are smarter than you?
Well, okay, so that's kind of a loaded question. Well, not really. So the first thing when you're just starting is, and this is something I would recommend for, you know, even someone that's it's so weird to say someone smaller than me. That's so weird to say. But for someone just starting out within their first couple of months, do not give up. It's very easy to look at your view count and become very discouraged, because I've been there. What has helped me is turning that off. I know a lot of people say that just turn off your view count or how many people you have in chat. It works for me. I don't pay attention to that anymore. If you don't have anyone in your chat, act like there's someone is. Have that conversation with yourself with your game, and because when someone pops into your chat room and you're having that conversation, they'll immediately be able to engage with you. Also, don't forget your chat. Now, as you guys know, when I'm playing a game, or for those of you that don't know, when I'm playing a game and sometimes become hyper focused, I will go back through my chat and scroll and answer questions or you know, make comments as I see them. But don't become so involved in your game that you're not sitting there talking for like 10 minutes or 5 minutes at a time. You have to be able to glance at that screen and see who's interacting with you. If you don't have that interaction, then why are people there? You know, absolutely be yourself. Don't, you know, when you guys see me, this is me. I act like this all the time. Well, not obviously it's not all the time, otherwise I think I'd be exhausted all the time. But I mean, be yourself. People know when you're being completely fake. People know that. You jump into someone's stream and you see that they're you know, you're like, that is not that person. That just seems like it's so forced and put on. You have to be yourself.
Yeah.
People come to your stream to see you. They come to see what you're playing, but they come to see you. So that is what you're selling. You're the product. Sell yourself. And don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to try new things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You've got another stream. Pack it up and look for the next stream. But you know, don't be afraid to try new things. Also, if the other thing is don't listen to everyone's advice, including mine, because you're going to discover something that I haven't thought of. And a lot of people are like, don't play the oversaturated games. You gotta look and see what games are trending and try to play the games that are trending. That'll get you more viewers. No, that doesn't work either. I've been there. We've looked to see what people were playing. We've looked to see you know, what was less saturated or more saturated. However, play what you want to play. People are gonna watch you because you're enjoying what you're doing, and if you don't enjoy what you do, then why are you doing it?
Yeah, that's true.
That's bottom. That's I think that's enough advice. All right. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you have for me?
I think that's it.
Well, you have been amazing. Thank you so much, Amateur.